Hey, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? We're so happy you're here. Tonight is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026. Our amazing, incredible guests are Mel England. He's been on the show many times, but he's always doing something new. So, Mel England, who we love, and his friend, who's soon to be our friend, and director, film director, Billy Clift. So, Leo, hit that promo.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Welcome back. We're so glad you're here. So tonight we have a lot of material to get in, and let's shout out our friend Danielle Alexandria Alchemy has joined us as Leo calls you the alarm clock. That means we got to get moving because Danielle's already here. So you're always the first one in. And Danielle is a medium, spiritual teacher, counselor, amazing past life regressionist. She talks to the other side, all things spiritual and connected to that other plane. You want to contact Danielle first, and she'll put you through. So, Danielle Alexandria Alchemy.com is her website. Go and check it out. I have nothing but high praises for Danielle. She does amazing work. Speaking of high praises, Lori Towers and John Pietero are wonderful friends from WFNU. Leo can fill you more in on that. Always amazing, amazing stuff. Their shows are incredible. Beautiful day today and a beautiful night with friends. Yes, Lori, we love you. And I miss seeing you. I haven't seen you guys in a while. There's John Pietero. It was International Women's Day a couple days ago. So I love all of Lori's female empowering posts, and that was really cool. So, Leo, do you want to come on and talk about their show? That is
actually, I wanted to talk about. Remember how for John? Well, before we put on their information, this is specifically for John and Lori because we were talking about Jesse Wells,
right?
And I wanted to play a little Jesse for them and for everybody out there because I think he's one of the greatest new folk singers out there, performers. He's a left leaner, and a lot of his songs reflect that. But I wanted to show you guys a really cute song that and give you a dig of his style, because he's really cool. Where is that?
Yeah,
right there. Jesse Wells, who's been on CBS Sunday Morning.
The man is just praying for, but he's probably just thanking the Lord that he don't live in a home and he don't got a phone and he don't sit around all angry and bored. He's just a bug. Well, I have a reason and know why. Don't do it just so they'll die. If you're gonna kill a bug, don't do it just because. I like bugs, and I'll tell you why. They're alive, and so am I. Bugs like grasshoppers, 'cause frogs eat them. I like bees, 'cause flowers need them. I like spiders, I like slugs, I like caterpillars, I like bugs.
So his name is Jesse Wells. His Wells Music. You can find him on Instagram. Maria, you first saw him on TikTok, right?
I saw him on TikTok originally, like, I don't know, 6 months ago. And then I was watching Stephen Colbert, and there he was. But he does a lot, as you would call it, left-leaning stuff. And it's really good stuff. Very good stuff. And we both agreed he reminds us of Arlo Guthrie. That Bob Dylan was influenced by Arlo Guthrie.
Phil Oakes, Arlo Guthrie, that movement.
That 60s folk movement. I love it. And even the way he plays the guitar, the bum, 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 that bass line.
If you guys get CBS Sunday Morning also did an article, a little video article on him as well. So look him up, give him your support. We need those voices nowadays. So
yes,
I wanted to share that. So
Wells. Thank you, Leo. That was
if you want to hear more music like that, and other music like blues and poetry and live poetry, and some rockin' women once a month as well, then you're going to go to wfmu.org, go to Sheena's Jungle Room, click on Beneath the Underground, and go see and listen to every Wednesday night at, at your time, it would be 10 p.m., my time, 7 p.m. Over here in California. But Lori Towers and John Pietero for Beneath the Underground every
And
Wednesday night.
I love it because I work Wednesday nights, but I can listen to it the next day or whenever I want, because once you go to wfmu.org, everything's archived. So it's just really cool. It's wonderful stuff.
And once you get a hitch of that vibe, then you can get some of your Axie Oligarchy jewelry to go along with it. Wear your jewelry on Wednesday, and I was wearing mine out tonight.
I love it. I love mine. And it's this is a perfect length for me, this 16-inch.
And
anyway.
That's at Lori Towers, right there, Axie Oligarchy, LoriTowers.net. So go there.
Excellent. Excellent. We love Lori and John. Stephanie Greco has joined us, my friend from high school, my beautiful friend. We've been friends for, oh my God, over 40 years. Stephanie, always nice
straighten
to see
up.
you.
Family managers in town. Family managers watching. Straighten up.
Okay, that's right. And Eudania Mesa Dominguez has joined us. So much stuff happening with Judy, as she is also known, with Judy Mesa. So that's lots of stuff coming on the horizon. So Judy Mesa's watching. She says, good morning. Sudi Rick Caritas. Hello, good people. Same to you. Nice. Sudi is he's in California. He's in LA. And Rena Corneli-Berge, as you mentioned, our family project, our project manager for, of course, my family. That's my cousin in Massachusetts. We love her. And I keep threatening to go home soon. And one of these days, I can't get 2 days off in a row. It's like crazy, but I've been home for like 6 months. I still have my sister's Christmas presents and all that.
Well, everybody was all blocked up after that storm and everything. So now they're all out. You're needed.
They got like 20 inches in Massachusetts, but now it's starting to melt. Okay. So also we have, you beat me to it. This is our friend Josie. She is the sweetest thing. She's Miss March in our Nothing But the Apron calendar. And one of my favorite pictures, which I have to send to you before March is over. Judy was at the duplex, and so was Josie on the same night. And I had them holding up their, because Judy is Miss December. And I had them holding up their calendars, and adorable. And they got to, they're friends now.
They were clothed though, right? They weren't doing like
they were fully clothed. Oh. Yes. That's why the calendar.
I know Senator. Sometimes she gets a little.
Well, she's frisky. She's very frisky. Josie, total class act there. You see.
There she is. Look at
Josie. And yes, there's Josie. We love her. So thank you, Josie, for submitting this wonderful. You see, there's greenery in the back. So absolutely, it's the green new Josie. I love it. Okay, so let me see. Not anymore, actually. Not anymore frisky. No, actually, she is on the straight and narrow. That's true. I am covered up these days.
She's going to be a senator, so.
Well, that's that. And also, she is, I can't even talk about some of the stuff that she's doing. Incredible. In the field, behind the scenes. She is getting it done. Judy Mesa, a.k.a. Eudania Mesa Dominguez, is getting done like never before. And she was always a go-getter, but yes, you are covered up these days. And now she has a beautiful grandson who's also my grandson, as we know. And so we have to be on the straight and narrow for little baby Liam. He's adorable. I have never seen.
He'll be the first one to keep you in check.
He
starts talking.
Oh my God! I was saying that to Judy. I said, "What do you think he's going to say once he starts talking?" It's kind of I'm dying to know what his personality. His personality is beautiful.
He's going to do this first.
Maybe. I love that. That's funny. I am covered. Yes. Okay. So let me just one of the things. Let's bring up Mary Beth Katrakis Perot's
that's right.
stuff, and I do want to go to, because I like to watch our show. like to have our show on 2 pages so that I can, because
Now
people
we're showing
comment.
this kid.
We have our
Here
YouTube
comes
page, of
Pete
course.
Cottontail.
Yeah,
Up
we have our
and
YouTube page, and
down
we
the
have.
bunny trail.
You can watch the show on YouTube. You can watch the show on my page, on our What's the Story with Maria page, Leo's page, many things. And then Leo archives it in podcasts, every single platform of podcasts that you can find. You can find What's the Story with Maria. Leo, what episode is this? Because I have my episodes screwed up.
This is 440.
40.
We
Yeah.
were at
Okay.
439 last time, so we're at 440
Yep.
now.
Okay. Good. For episode 440. Excellent. So if you want to go back, and it's on YouTube, everything is archived live, the video, but also you can listen to it on YouTube as well.
Mhm.
Okay, so our friend Mary Beth Katrakis Perot, who also happens to be Lena Katrakis' sister, is an amazing artist, and she makes so many things like at Christmas time. But this is what she makes for Easter and Greek Easter. She was on our show and she talked about it. These are eggs; they're actual eggs that she empties out and preserves the shells and then turns them into these exquisite works of art. So if you want to, and the reason I wanted to show her this, just show this a little bit this week, is because you can order them in time for Easter and Greek Easter. These are incredible gifts. So I wouldn't say these are gifts that you give little kids. These are gifts that you give adults. And so, I mean, although you can give them to and save them for when they grow up, so you want to go to etsy.com/shop /MARI capital DEZINE, Mary Dezine. Okay, so you want to just photograph that. Maybe we'll put it in our chat as well. Please go and check Mary's Etsy page out. First of all, she is the nicest human you could imagine. And she does the most beautiful work. So if you want to give something that is completely 100% original, especially if you have Greek friends, and I have many in Massachusetts, many Greek friends. So it's a wonderful gift, and they're beautifully priced, and they're stunning. Okay, so we wanted to give Mary a shout out. Yep. Oh,
This
so
is so
gorgeous.
pretty.
Oh my God, so pretty, right?
This one.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Can you imagine waking up and finding these in your Easter basket?
Oh my God. That's like something you keep in like a beautiful crystal like she is there. Like I would never touch that. Like it's just something so beautiful. My mother would have loved that.
I'd be looking for the chocolate.
I know, me too, Leo. I'm bad. We're bad. Okay, so we have all our friends on. Rebecca Whitman Dansfield has joined us. Hello, Rebecca, my beautiful friend. She's joined us as well. Okay, so we have a bunch of our friends on. And I don't want to waste too much time tonight because we have 2 incredible guests. Our first guest is someone that has been my friend for many, many, many years, but also now is our friend because he's been on our show a ton of times because he's always working on something new and interesting and has so many angles on it. Plus, we've shared many wonderful moments in our community, a lot of milestones and things like that. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about that tonight. But
and like you, he's like talented.
Oh, he's so talented. So, but also very humble. And so, and I do want to give a shout out because Mel and Billy were supposed to be on last week. They were scheduled for a month ahead of time. But because of the Neil Sedaka situation, and I wanted to do that tribute show so bad, I reached out and said, how do you guys feel about bumping it back a week? And if they couldn't, I would have just switched it. So gracious, no problem. So
we've got some Neil Sedaka shorts, by the way, too. Like we posted from our other shows, those little
oh, how wonderful!
Reels, so those are coming out more. We've discovered something new, so we'll be putting out little tidbits of our interviews on social media for Instagram and stuff like that. Just little 30-second
Leo
stuff.
takes care of all that. I don't know where I'd be without you, Leo. Oh my God, thank you for doing all that. Yeah, so you can catch little snippets of all our stuff we're doing.
Yep.
All right,
and we'll have this one out by the end of the week.
Yes, we will. Okay, so I think without further ado, he is an actor. He's an activist. He is a stage actor. He's a writer. He's a film actor, stage actor. He's a writer, a screenwriter, playwright, everything, and a wonderful human being. Shall we bring in Mel England? Studio audience is clapping for you, Mel.
Hello.
Hi, Mel. How are you, honey?
Hi, Maria. Hi, Leo. Hi.
Hi.
So
I am great. Thank you.
Mel, you, as I said, you always have something going on. Now, the last time we talked, sometimes we just talk on Facebook, but you said I have 3 films coming out. I have 3 new films. I was like, 3 films, and so you always let me know when you're doing stuff. So we booked you guys way ahead of time. So thank you so much for being so nice and switching with us last week, because we wanted to honor our friend Neil Sedaka, and we did. And I thought that was a great show. I'm glad we got to do that. But thank you for being so flexible. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. I mean, that's and actually, I was here a couple of months ago, and we, it was a show that we had to talk about something else. We ended up having a heartfelt conversation about, just things that were
recovery
happening.
I know, and we had to do it. It was very important, and people really appreciated that show. That was a really important show. So Mel, let's get right to it. And with your movies. So let's start with Adam and Steve, I think, because that's a sequel, right? Adam and Steve Escape from MAGA. That's hysterical.
Yeah. Now that just came out about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Everything's a blur because it's been a very busy fall, but it's Craig Chester who made the original Adam and Steve with Malcolm Getz and Parker Posey and Chris Kattan. And he'd been working on actually having a sequel for a long time. And without getting into the long story, basically, this kind of became a hybrid of what was going to be the sequel, because, as you know, suddenly there was a change in the world as soon as the election happened in 2024.
I'm so exhausted.
Craig kind of made this really interesting satire. It was a blend of the, sort of the reuniting of Craig and Malcolm as Adam and Steve, which is a seminal movie about gay marriage, right? And how they got married in 2006, 20 years later, and Adam and Steve have to escape because the Christian nationalists are coming after the gays. And so it's a very funny political satire. I get to play a really weird character in I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but I'll just say that I'm an old friend who kind of comes around. And anyway, it was a blast. And Michael Musto was in it. Charles Bush is in it. I mean, there's
oh my God, how fun.
These incredible, and it's so great because anybody who remembers the original, of course, they have such fond memories. The film, came out before, as you know, like gay marriage didn't become legal. In fact, I think in New York State it was 2011, and then federally it was 2014. But the film came out in 2006, so it was still kind of a radical thing that Adam and Steve were getting married. And so 20 years later, you see them, and then they're having to run, and basically, I don't want to give it away except to say that they sort of have to hide it, go back into the closet, work as servants. It's just crazy. It's a crazy story. And I'm so thrilled that I got to be a part of it, because I've known Craig since I was 19 years old. We were old friends from high school, or I was in college, but we ended up rooming together in New York City. And so it's a kind of a weird, kind of coming home in a way.
I love that. And that's the thing about New York. And I'm sure LA's got its stories too, but you end up knowing people from the beginning, and your relationships grow and change, and so much happens to both of your careers and lives. And then you're like, wow, we started out like, all my friends are like that. Look at me and Susie 33 years later.
Totally, very
still
similar.
My best friend,
Yeah, we were, and Craig has had this incredible career because, he was nominated for an Independent Spirit Award for a film called Swoon, which was very important in the gay independent cinema, movement in the 90s, and was one of the first openly gay actors in Hollywood. He was very, very critical person, not only in sort of the larger world, but for me personally, he was a role model.
Yeah.
You know, Maria, it's no secret here or anywhere else. I came out publicly as openly HIV positive in 2009 in my solo show off Broadway, and that was partly in many ways inspired. Like Craig was one of the people who kind of like, you know, had helped give me permission to know, like, you know, that it was because nobody was doing that. I had just had a movie come out on Netflix, and within 6 months I was doing the show off Broadway that, you know, where suddenly press releases were going out and I was exposing and that was the very scary thing for me to do. But it was people like Craig and some other friends that really gave me the permission, you know, to feel like, you know, screw it, this is my life.
I love that, Mel. I love that. That's beautiful. And how nice to have people like that that know and love you as you are, and they respect you and you respect them. I love that. And they're part of your journey of evolving and becoming who you're supposed to be, you know, like,
Oh, I
because
actually probably. Oh, sorry. Go on.
no, I was going to say, because we're so young when we start these careers. And
Yeah.
I knew, you know, so little, and you teach each other just by
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true. That's really
I
true.
think.
I actually wouldn't even be with my husband, I don't think, if it weren't for Craig, because we were both in LA, because we both kind of did this like LA, New York thing at the same. And so we would compare notes like everybody in LA is crazy, everybody in New York is crazy. Anyway, so but at some point I had met Tony and I was like, you know, I'm going back to New York. I'm not available for a really. And he was like, well, you know, how can you ever play somebody in a relationship if you've never been in a relationship? And I'm like, I'm an actor. What are you talking about? Of course I can. And then I realized like he was right. Like I needed to, and now it's like 20 years later that I'm almost 20 years with Tony and I see it. Like you know, you're in a relationship. Like
Yeah, long time. Me and
all
Judy's
that
almost
stuff, like
17 years next month.
now I know what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a weird.
Yes.
So he kind of pulled this like really interesting psychological like thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
It was,
love it.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's absolutely. I love that. Now, so that's one film you're working on.
And that's actually this, and that's on YouTube, so people can watch it anytime, any place. It was original. It was sort of released as a web series, but then put together as a feature film. It was, you know, anyway. So it's available on YouTube. People can watch that.
Fantastic. Adam and Steve Escape from MAGA. Wonderful. I can't wait.
Crazy, funny, hilarious, genius.
I love that stuff. I love
You
that
gotta
stuff.
watch it.
Now, in the opposite direction, a very serious subject is snow falling on pumpkins.
Yeah, that's a film about early onset Alzheimer's, and it's actually a Jeff London film. It's now my third film with indie gay filmmaker Jeff London, and it was about almost a little over 10 years ago. I made a film called Best Day Ever with him, and then Jeff, you know, had asked me to be in another film. So anyway, but in this film, I play, you know, the older half of a couple. I meet this young, you know, this guy who's about 10 years younger than me. And that's Ben Stober, incredible actor. Tony Enos plays the sort of spiritual healer in the film. He gets and writes the music, beautiful music that he wrote. And
Wow.
anyway, the story really is about him having to deal with the fact that he's diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's right as we're getting married. And so, oddly
Wow.
enough, Maria, it becomes a film in some ways for me about the power of, you know, family and how we create family in queer community. That's Paul Burchett, who's one of the producers and also lovely. He plays the uncle. It sort of is a story of perseverance. In some ways, it reminded me of some of those old, you know, AIDS movies where you sort of see people come together in this beautiful way. You know, that's what happens is that I think I was inspired by that. The film sort of, you know, really investigates what it is that we do when we're, you know, it's not just like the fun and the party and the disco and etc.
Right.
You know, sometimes you have to actually like show up.
Yeah, absolutely. And There was a couple. I mean, I remember I moved here in 1990, but I remember the last part of that decade. There was a lot of incredibly powerful. Well, there were stories, of course, because Larry Kramer, was, and there were a lot of books being written, but they were groundbreaking things and movies. And we didn't really talk about being gay growing up. Gay, you didn't talk about it. You
Yeah.
just had your friends, and they knew, and you knew, and you didn't. It was an unspoken thing. But in the 90s, especially the late 90s, people started to kind of like say, you know what, I'm tired of, like, I just want to be able to talk about my life. And so movies were being made. And I think that now there's more movies being made, but as you stated in the beginning, like, we're being pushed back in there for some reason.
Yeah, actually, and
It's just like exhausting. I mean, it's just exhausting. Oh, Adrian Christian has joined us, sending
Oh.
continued success and best wishes to the fantastic Mel England and love to Maria and Leo. We love Adrian Christian.
Adrian actually came to the LA premiere of Snow Falling on Pumpkins, and
Yeah, Adrian's
yeah.
a sweetheart.
The thing about is, I'm glad you brought it up, because Maria, it's interesting that all three of the films that I'm talking about, they're all queer films, and oddly, they all trace their lineage back to that early indie gay cinema, like Craig
Yep.
Trust, so important the part of. Jeff London was also doing it. Jeff London's niche is sort of like small town gays. So
Yes.
he doesn't make
I
films
love
about
that.
San Francisco or LA or New York. They're always like these small, like in Arizona and Indiana. And what happens is that, there are people that go to Walmart and, just like whatever. And they're very wholesome. You could almost say they're like
Yeah.
Hallmark, but they're really about what
There's
it is.
an innocence to it. Yes, there's an innocence to that life.
And
you
also
know,
a need for
a
us to be
humility.
like normal, like in that
Yes,
way. Like normal,
absolutely.
yeah. And there's something radical about that still. And so when Joe started making
Absolutely.
his films about, 20 years ago, it was radical still to make a gay love story. In fact,
Oh
when I
my
did
God.
him 10 years ago, I was going to play an out gay guy in a romance. That was still kind of there was still kind of a risk. Now it's on Netflix, and now that we have, the hockey players and all that. But there's something about these filmmakers and the bravery with which they've
Absolutely. Leo, do you want to jump in here, honey?
I was going to say, I remember in, was it 87, 88? I was still a teenager and sneaking to watch Torch Song Trilogy because it was so taboo, but it was like, that
See?
and Boys in the Band, they
Yes,
were the
Boys
only
in the
films that
Band. Oh my
I could
God.
look at. And Boys in the Band was not my favorite representation at all of
Right.
what I remember growing up. But Torch Song Trilogy, I remember seeing that, and just Harvey became my hero, and I just, a new world opened up for me. It was just like seeing our friend on Donahue when she sang
Ruby Rims.
Ruby Rims. Yeah, like
Yeah.
for me, this little Mexican kid in East LA, those movies and stuff. But
Do you know what? Yes. Do you know what movie
yes.
cracked my heart open in the 90s? Was Longtime Companion.
Yeah, that was actually.
Oh my! I still get chills when I even say that title.
I mean, I actually, after I saw that, because I was newly diagnosed, I think right after that film. And then at that point, I could not watch for for many years, probably about 15 years. I could not watch I couldn't watch Philadelphia. I didn't see The Normal Heart.
Yes.
Yep.
I
was living it. But that film, that Longtime Companion brought it. It was like,
oh my God. Oh,
yeah.
I still, just saying it, I want to cry. But it
wasn't until Jeffrey that I feel that we moved on to a happier kind of movie.
Yes, you're right. Kind of goofy, and then Trick came out, and it was like fun.
Go on.
No, I was just going to say, just to drop it in there. If you're looking for a wonderful book to read, the Joel Gray, it's called it's a Master of Ceremonies. It's the name of his autobiography, and he talks about being a childhood, actor, and being in a family of that. And then towards the end of his book, he comes out and he talks about that part and how he hid it most of his life, and then he couldn't do it. He couldn't hide it anymore. And it's just so powerful because you really feel, you're like, damn it, man. Like, people have to live their whole lives as a lie. And they never get to be themselves. And at the end of his career, well, no, I mean, he's, still with us, but he did a Larry Kramer play, and it was a huge risk for him to do
Yeah,
that.
it was a big deal. I've known some people personally who finally, and I can't even say who they like. I'll let them tell their own stories, but I've similar, where you have somebody who's been in the public eye or whatever, and suddenly they're deciding to talk about it, and it's a big deal for them because you were so programmed to, and that's why it was a big deal for me when I came out as like at that. I was just beginning to have some kind of public thing, but for me to then come out as Paz was a huge, like, I just thought I was gonna, like.
I can imagine, Mel. I mean, I can imagine the stress that went with that. Now, your third film, and is he in the wings? Is our friend Billy in the wings? Okay.
So now let me tell you about this, because
you have to tell us. Billy
is the third film in Billy's film. Billy Clift is this incredible filmmaker that I've gotten to do many projects with, but oddly enough, and it's the film that's out now is Until the Silence. It's on Here TV and Amazon, and Billy is such another trailblazer of like independent gay cinema, and I cannot express how inspiring it is to be able to work with somebody who's constantly making not only independent film, but it's like content about by and about queer people, because we need to hear that. And it's just been this film. I got, is Billy here? Where's Billy?
I'm gonna pop him in. Oh, there he is. Hi, Billy. So happy that you could make it, honey. Thank you. I know that you're busy, and I so appreciate you being flexible and being able to do it tonight. So thank you, sweetheart.
Billy, I don't think we can hear you. You might want to go out and come back in, my love.
Billy,
unless you're muted yourself.
Is he muted?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay, he's muted. Unmute. Let's see if we can. Oh, is he there?
Unmute. Yeah, he's there, but his sound is not working.
Okay, you know what, Billy? X out and pop back in. That might fix it. Yeah.
So I'll tell you a little. While Billy does that, I'll tell you a little bit about the film. So Until the Silence is this apocalyptic story of three couples in Los Angeles at sort of, I think Billy said it like it. I think it says in the beginning, it's like tomorrow. So it could be at any point. And it's the world it's sort of whatever is going on now politically has kind of deconstructed in some weird way. And there is the threat of this sort of new annihilation apocalypse.
Wow. Oh, God knows that's a very real threat.
And it is. And we see what's happening, in the world today with, it's just, so in a minute, the film, oh, there he is.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we can. Sometimes
yay.
StreamYards has these little glitches, but it's fixed now. So, Billy, Mel was giving us a little background on some of the things, just as a filmmaker, some that we need to know about this particular film, Until the Silence. And I don't know if you heard that part of it where he said it's a little bit apocalyptic.
Yes,
now,
it's actually very apocalyptic.
Okay. Was this a book that you adapted a screenplay for, or was it your idea? Tell us about the film.
It was something that I've always been, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think we all love an apocalyptic kind of story.
Well, yeah, makes your heart pound out of your chest. Yeah.
Right. I couldn't 100% tell you why, but this basically is when that person became in power again.
Yes, I know. We don't even have to say names. I love it.
I sat down and I went, I have to write something about everything I feel right now.
Oh my God, yeah.
And to me, it felt apocalyptic, like the world was ending.
Absolutely.
So I went and I just spilled out. And I mean, there are monologues on here that I gave these poor actors that are so long. They all looked at me like, what the, and, and I said, but I know you guys are so good that you can make this really work and really tell everything that I felt I put into this.
Wow.
And I also realized that it's 3 separate relationships of different ages, because if you were to know that in 1 month you're going to die and everything's over, it's going to be very different depending on your age bracket.
Absolutely. 100%.
So I did a 20s, I did a late 30s, and then I did 50s. And Mel England is a part of he's part of the 50s, but
look how good he looks.
I'm then we also had this beautiful woman. What's her name? I forgot.
Rachel Paulson.
Rachel Paulson, who also plays they had a surrogate for a child.
Oh wow!
And she's there as well, and it's the 3 of them, this couple, who is David Milburn and Mel and her are there together, and they did have a child, but we don't want to talk about that and what happened or whatever. But so it's and she's a lesbian, and she came in to help her dear friends have a child, and they're all, as I said, 1 month, everything's over. Oh, good night. Wow. So it's I don't know. It's hard for me as a filmmaker and a writer of something to know completely how I did. Honestly, I sit there and I eat off when I'm seeing it in a theater, right? And I think I'm trying to eat off the people who are watching it.
Of course.
The travel.
And what Billy, what is the sense that you get when you are watching them watch the movie? What is the sense?
That they're devastated.
So they got your message. They got how you felt.
I 100% they got what I felt. And often I see them after the show and they don't even know what to say. And I don't hear until the next day, because they said, like, they'll say, I just have to process this.
Yes. But I would feel the same way.
Maria, I just want to say what's so wild is that Billy does this thing in the film that even though it's so dark and it's heavy, it's very, very, it was so hard to film this movie. It took a month afterwards for me to like come back to earth. But, in spite of that, it really, I feel like, this is just my take, Billy, you can, tell me if this is wrong, but I feel like it's really about the power of human love and perseverance, because we all we just come together in this way. We have to. And it's really, that is so inspiring to me.
Yeah, each couple, you see so much love. I mean, I was very proud of that I got to help create the connections between these couples, and how you felt that they loved each other so much, which of course is getting really, really good actors, of course, and they were also good about, once they were cast, they were hanging out with each other all the time, particularly the younger and the middle. I knew David and Mel. Of course, I trust Mel. We've done like 5, 6 different projects together, and they're all been really deep, haven't they? Yeah. I mean, we did a No Goodbyes, which is about a Holocaust survivor, a true story about a Holocaust survivor. And they're in the camp, and it's Mel and this young boy, which was a true story that what was written. And we actually had a Holocaust survivor act like the older kid, and he goes in and he talks about what it was like, and then all of a sudden we're there. So we do deep stuff, and that's because I know Mel can do it. Right. And so he listens, he does it, and so I trust that, and when you trust your actors, you want to use them over and over again.
Yes, absolutely. Were there many great directors use their use certain actors over and over for the exact reason
One
you
of the
just said.
reasons that I love working with Billy is because he's truly a great director. And Maria, you know this as an actor and as a performer, when you're on set or in a play or whatever you're doing with a director who knows, like it's like I don't know how else to say it except that Billy is so sensitive and attuned to what is happening, and he does it in a way that makes you feel safe and wanted, and like you can take those risks. It's such a gift. Not everybody.
Absolutely.
We
Not
know
at all.
there's other kinds of directors, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? Doesn't always mean that they're not a good person. It just means that their skills set is different, right? Like
Right.
they're not always plugged into their actors. Maybe they're more plugged into the cinematography part of it.
Right.
Or,
Yeah,
you know,
not all directors seem to know how to deal with actors. You know,
I think most don't.
you
I
know.
think most are.
I was an actor. I was an actor at one time.
Oh, there you go.
I went through years of training. And so that was part of when I first got out of I went to Hollywood High School, you know, and I was in all the plays. And when I came out, I had an agent, a manager, and everything was about that. And so I'm using all of that in everything that I do, you know. I did not become an actor because I looked 30 and I was 18, and I couldn't get any work because I looked too old. I ended up being a model because all I had to do was stand there, right?
Well, I mean, you have to look good too, Billy. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
I used that into that, and then eventually I became a hair and makeup man here.
That's what Mel was telling us, and I love this. You know, my family's in the hair business in Massachusetts.
There you go.
Wonderful.
Everybody, it's like there's like literally like 12 of them, all in the, including
wow.
my dad, my sister, cousins. So I love this stuff, you know, and I know how great these people are. You know, like they're so in tune with everything, and they make everything beautiful, and they make people happy, and so that's a whole other world.
You are trained that, and I would basically work on a set with the female lead of the film, or whatever I was doing. And so you got you said you have Lizzie, of course, on there, and God. So I ate everything up, you know. And when I was working with someone like her, I came in and told the DP how to light her.
Yes.
I told, you know, and where to put the camera. Like,
really, I love that.
Don't put it below. Bring it up just a pinch and always make sure the camera, you know, because for some reason, all cameramen want to put the camera just below everybody. They always do. It's just the way it is. But when you become a certain age,
yes, I agree 100%.
Up a little bit so that you get a little bit of, you know, a little bit of darkness underneath the chin.
Yeah.
And make sure underneath the eyes are lit, you know, all that kind of stuff. So
we need Billy to walk around with us in life and just light us and make us look beautiful. I agree, Billy.
And I would watch everything that everybody was doing and become best friends with the clothing, you know, the costumers and all that. So I really learned. And then I also did fashion. I worked for Elle. I worked for Vogue. I used to go to New York and do all the shows. So I understood that every shot should look like a painting.
Yes. Oh my God.
You know, everything should be beautifully balanced and look like a painting, because that draws you in, and you don't even know why you're drawn into the photo or into the shoot, but everything around you should look perfectly of who that person is.
Wow.
So that's what I learned and took from all of that. You know, I didn't know that I was being trained for all of this, because it's been maybe 15 years now that I've been doing this.
Wow. You know what else I think, like, even looking at your background there, your home, I think you're at your home or your office, and it's beautifully art directed, you know, like it's a reflection of who you are. And I'm just getting to know you, but that says a lot to me about, you know, how beautifully lit it is, how the things that you choose and the detail in it, you know. So I mean, everything you've said, I absolutely agree with, and I just think it's wonderful. Now, Steve Gorin, what I'm going to do, Steve Gorin's a great friend of ours, and he just wrote an incredible book called Shared Awakening. about I'll have Steve. I'm going to connect you guys because I think you'll be great friends. He just wrote a book about an AI character and the woman that created this AI character and how they developed this connection. And so that's really, it's really cool. And Steve's a great guy. So anyway, you will, and his beautiful wife, who's a friend of mine as well, is an amazing jewelry maker. And also she's a painter. So you're all going to be friends. You're all going to be friends.
Very cool. We love that.
Yeah,
we love that.
There's shared awakening. So yeah, they're great people to break bread with and have wonderful conversations about art and writing. So
Maria, can I just drop in 1 second? Because I know,
of course, honey, whatever you want.
I mean, Billy and I have a couple of other things, in what's it called? Like in the can, in the oven, and the whatever. Like, but of course, there's the film. Yeah, Here We Are, which is a film that we've been working on for a couple of years. It's in post. That Sally Kirkland, of course, plays my mom, and Sally passed away, as we know. So that's upcoming, but that actually her memorial is this weekend, the day before the Oscars here in Hollywood. So
wow, Mel.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Sally. And then we also have this lovely film I'm very excited about that we've been talking to you about, called Maybe This Time, that Billy did a lovely. There was a Richard DeFonso, who's a dear friend and a very, well, I should use the term lightly, old, meaning like a long time Liza Minnelli impersonator, one of the most successful in New York, on television and did, was in the New York Post and all the stuff. David guessed what, the wedding with Liza. Anyway, the point is that he wrote this story about his life as a Liza Minnelli impersonator. And then, he approached me about it years ago, and then we started working on it. And then we brought Billy in a few years ago, and Billy did this amazing rewrite of the script. And anyway, we're looking at where they bring their show, that's an off-Broadway show, like to Palm Springs. And
in the middle of nowhere about Palm Springs. It's totally, to try to create that. You got to do a big fish out of water.
Absolutely.
They go to Palm Springs thinking they're going to be doing a show in Palm Springs, but it ends up being an hour away in the middle of nowhere. And they're like, what the hey? You know what I mean? And I just thought, how can we make a zany, silly, fun comedy that we need right now that has nothing to do with anything political whatsoever?
Absolutely.
That's just kind of almost stupid, but sweet and fun, And we need that right now too. And right now I've been doing one like deep thing after the other. Is I need a silly, fun comedy.
You need a break. Yeah, absolutely.
Right now I'm editing I've just shot a documentary on a man named Morris Kite. And Morris Kite founded the LGBT Center in Los Angeles, which was the first center in the world.
Really?
He founded the first Pride Parade in the world. He founded the Gay Liberation Front, the first one in Los Angeles in the world. The Stonewall Democratic Club. He founded it. I mean, it's just on, and nobody knows who he is. Right?
Society, yes.
Pardon?
He was he was part of the Madison Society as well, or no?
He didn't. He started his own, which was the Gay Liberation Front.
Wow. Well, Billy, I work at the Stonewall Inn.
Fabulous.
So that's so cool. and with all the political stuff going on now, it's just like, I love and I work at the LGBTQ center in New York. I teach 16 to 20-year-olds. We work with them creatively. Yeah. So.
And we were there together that day, Maria.
Mel, I'll never forget that. We just happened to run into each other.
The National Monument.
Yes, when Obama was in office. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful
So I'm in editing right now. I'm in post right now editing that. And it's just been it's been much more. You keep on finding out more that he did, because he did it. He just every day was trying to figure out how he could help. Not just the LGBTQ, but anyone, Asian, Black, women, Hispanic. He was out there trying to figure out how to help everyone. And I just can't believe what he did.
I mean,
so
to that point, that I can't wait. I've been listening to Billy talk about it and like keeping up with what he's doing on it. And I have to say, on that point, I just found out I had forgotten, or maybe I didn't know, because Jesse Jackson just passed away, that,
Yeah.
Jesse Jackson in 1984, when he ran for president, and he spoke at the convention, but he was the first politician ever at a national convention to use the words gay and lesbian.
Wow. Is that
And
true? I
Morris was
didn't know
friends
that.
I have pictures with he and Morris.
That's
Oh,
incredible.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we got to take a quick break because, as Leo has reminded me, it is time for go ahead, keep eating. Billy, we have a food section of our show here, as
Love
any
that.
good Italian would, and
It's a
so
good thing.
I can't just ask my wonderful creative guests to come on the show and pour their hearts out creatively if I do not keep up with my creative side as well. So I like to cook for the show every week. Thank you, Leo, for the reminder. Rena Crignali-Berghi, my cousin. Would be
Is
very
mine going to be at
upset.
the door in a minute?
I think so. I think we can make it happen. So what did I make tonight? I've been teaching now on Tuesday, so I can't make these elaborate things. So I look for these very quick things to make. But I happen to have ravioli in the house. So these are cheese ravioli, but I made a quick porcini mushroom cream sauce. I had some truffle butter and truffle butter, a little bit of cream, some garlic, of course. And then you know what else I threw in here? I had some everything spice, the everything bagel spice. So I threw that in just to give it a little bit of a kick. And some 21 Salute from Trader Joe's, which has like everything under the sun. And so I put some parsley on that. So that is our porcini mushroom butter ravioli.
Sounds amazing.
Thank you, honey. And then for our salad, I love a good salad. That's why I'm not 5,000 pounds, because I eat constantly. But I do love a good salad. So tonight I went with like just an all-American salad. So this is butter lettuce, radicchio, white cabbage, cheddar cheese. I chopped up some cheddar cheese, some carrots, some celery, and I'm going to put a blackberry ginger. Yes, a blackberry ginger balsamic vinegar on that.
Good.
Doesn't that sound delicious? And just a plain extra virgin olive oil, because I think you get enough going on with the blackberry ginger. And I put some dill on that. So I think this is going to be delicious.
Fresh dill or dried dill?
Dried dill, because I didn't have fresh. I didn't have time. On Tuesdays, I don't have time to stop at the store anymore. I come straight from teaching here. And these are just some brownie bites. You can't go wrong with brownie bites from Trader Joe's. And so that is our food section of the show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating.
Keep eating.
So that's what we made tonight. Now, so wow, this show could go on for days with all the stuff you guys are working on. Now, let's tell everybody where they can see your amazing films. So whoever wants to start, where can we see them? So Mel, why don't you start with the first one that we talked about?
So, there's Snow Falling on Pumpkins. That's on Amazon. People can just go right to Amazon and click on that. There you go. And then the Adam and Steve Escape from MAGA is on YouTube. So people can see it for free on YouTube. And then Until the Silence, which is Billy's masterpiece, actually. It's on Amazon and Here TV. So you can either have a subscription to Here TV, which anybody who's queer should have a subscription to Here TV, because there's a ton of stuff on there, including Gods and Monsters and like a bunch of.
We have a bunch of, and of course, a lot of my films are on Here TV as well, because
we have Jack. I mean, he's Billy's done, but I'm in Jacked on there. That's another film, and then also
feature film about it was a true story about a young man who comes from the middle of nowhere, comes to Hollywood, and he ends up being a prostitute. Just a normal. It was a true story that this one kid happened and ended up getting addicted to heroin and different drugs.
Wow.
And the actual person did die a year ago, sadly. Wow. But it was just kind of, it's a normal story, and it happens here, especially in New York, right? It's just they come there thinking that this kid wanted to be a Hollywood actor. It would be normal that they go to New York to want to be a stage, but still Hollywood's being so good now in New York. So it'd be the same thing. It's the same old story. And then there's predators who feed off of it. That's
Absolutely, 100%. I agree.
And I actually, in that one, I played like the guy at the Gay and Lesbian Center that's trying to help him get off the street and get sober.
Which happened to the kid, and it helped him for about 10 years. But eventually, as we all know, it's common that we fall back into habits.
Yeah. Oh boy. So once again, let's remind everybody we have Mel's first movie he talked about was Adam and Steve, Escape from MAGA, then Snow Falling on Pumpkins, and then the last one we talked about, which we brought Billy in for, Until the Silence. But Billy has a ton of movies out there as well. And
everybody should see Hush Up, Sweet Charlotte, and they should see Baby Jane. His two takes on, I don't know, they're sort of they're kind of remakes in a way of those films.
They're remakes, but they're parody. They're parody remakes.
Oh my God!
They're dark parody remakes. And when I first did the first one I did, which was Baby Jane, I actually got a lot of bad press because of they didn't think that it should have been so dark. But I was like, I'm going to make it really funny, and then I'm just going to go into the psychology of this poor Baby Jane and this woman.
Oh, I love that. I'm a huge fan of those movies.
So
huge fan of those movies.
Matthew, remind me of Matthew Martin.
Yeah,
played the Betty Davis Jane.
Yeah,
incredible.
Wow.
And then in Charlotte, we had Varla Jean Merman, who's a big drag artist all over the place.
Of course.
Lady Haviland. And then we have Mink Stoll, though, playing the Agnes Moorehead role. And she is off the charts amazing. You know, and it was wonderful to have Mink Stoll because I really became a filmmaker because of her and her, what's his name? John Waters. All the John Waters films definitely made me want to become a filmmaker.
Oh my God, I love this. I
do have something just went on Tubi, which is always great because it's free, which is my documentary, A Long Road to Freedom, The Advocate. The Advocate celebrates 50 years. That just got onto Tubi, I noticed. I saw that the other day, and that I was up for an Emmy for that.
Wow.
2019. I'm very proud of that film, and that goes from a little known, not a riot, but a protest that happened here in Los Angeles a year before Stonewall, where they had 300 people protesting in front of the Black Cat, which is right down the street from where I live. And people rarely know about it. So I started my documentary with that information and then all the way to the 50th anniversary of the Advocate.
That's
an incredible film. Maria, just, on a Sunday afternoon when or whatever, you watch that, it's gonna blow your pants off. I mean, it's so good. It's so good.
I can't wait. This is amazing. So, Billy, first of all, I want to say you are welcome back anytime, but please reach out to me if you have any new projects you want to talk about, or we want to have you back because this was just like a tease.
I would love to.
Please, So we have to have Billy Clift back, everybody. Leo, can we get a round of applause for Billy?
Hi.
Okay, our studio audience just is so excited that Billy was able to join us. So we want to thank Billy for joining us. We want to thank Mel England.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so many great things to follow up on. So feel free, once this is ended, to add the links to any of the movies, on different things. Although we did let people know about it, but thank you.
Well, all the YouTube links that we showed from the trailers tonight are in the comments for their on YouTube or Facebook. So
yay!
You can go to the comments and just click them and see them.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see all of it. And oh my God, we could talk for hours. Thank you for taking the time, both of you. It's so nice to meet you, Billy. Mel, you know how much I love you, and I'm gonna just keep working on that. I promise I'll get this done. Mel knows. Mel gave me a little project.
I'm gonna sit by the door though to wait for my food.
Oh, I wish. Hey, listen. I wish I could pull a Bewitched.
I've been
Link it to you.
I've been on the show at Maria's, and when you're there in person, she actually makes you eat.
Yes,
I
Billy.
love that. I will do that.
When you're at Maria's, you're looking at your watch like, is the show over yet? Is the show over yet? Hey, you is the show over yet?
If you're ever in New York, Billy, let me know and you can come over for dinner or for lunch. I promise
I
I'll cook for
will.
you.
I will take you up on that.
Oh, you better. Don't miss out on that opportunity.
My loves, thank you, Leo. I don't know where I'd be without Leo.
Mwah.
And everybody that joined us tonight, just please come back Tuesdays, 9 to 10 Eastern. Or you can watch it in reruns, or go to YouTube or whatever or go to it's also going to be in podcast. But remember that we love and appreciate you, and share your life with other people. Enjoy, make as much art as possible, especially now. We are the ones they can't recreate us, right? It's up to us to put all our beauty and art out there. And thank you, Mel. I want everybody go around in a circle and say, we need a few words of encouragement for artists in these very difficult times. Mel, why don't we start with you?
Okay. So very simply, I've realized that the idea of compassion and mercy is something that is something that's literally about, I'm no longer going to allow this person, place, thing, institution, government, concept to have power over me today. That actually is forgiveness, to be free from the bondage of fear and worry and anxiety. And that's how I live my day. And that's my prayer for everybody.
Beautiful. Billy, what would you like to leave us with?
All I can say is I just do it. I mean, I hate to use that simple term, but I don't allow, again, it's very similar to what you just said, is that I don't allow people to say you can't do this. Right. I will not allow that to rule me whatsoever. I will find a way. And with the passion and the chutzpah, right? To create and follow my heart, my dreams. And so let's just do it, okay?
Absolutely.
And you got to find people that do it, though, that help you with this. We got to find our people.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. And Leo, do you want to close us out, honey?
In times like this, it's always the artists that carry on with the art, the paintings, the graffiti on the walls, the music of all the decades. So I'm going to use something that I've written. You got to believe that it's all about love and carry through that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I love you all. Billy, you're my new favorite person. How much fun was this?
Thank you. We'll meet you, Leo, as well. And Mel, I'll see you Saturday.
Leo's in California, so you may run.
I'm in Idlewild. I'm up the hill.
We got to get you to come down the mountain, Leo. Just come on down.
Get him to come down the mountain.
I have been down.
There's a party. Actually, Billy's.
I love it up there. It's beautiful.
He's having a big party. When's there's a fundraiser for another film project that he's working on, and we got it. We'll tell you when, Leo, so you can come.
Yeah, based on it's a movie called Pretty Talk. Anyway, that's another one. I have so
much. Okay, that's another. Okay,
you boys got my number. You boys got my number.
Well, thank you for taking the time, and thank you to our audience for listening and checking us out. We love and appreciate you. Good night. Come back next week.
Good night. Thank you, honey.
Bye-bye. Bye.